Hello, everyone. I'm Lana Hiniania, and we are on the podcast Call Her Hoover. I'm with
Tally Salanto.
And Samantha Chi.
And Kylie McCourt.
We are going to talk about the Colleen Hoover book on ugly love, which is actually a really interesting book. The one thing that I didn't like about the book is how long it took us to get to
Miles' perspective.
Right,
I hated
exactly.
that because you only saw it from Tate's, but I wanted to know.
I know.
It was like confusing until like the end, and I was like, oh shit.
I wanted to go like from one perspective to the next perspective, but
right.
I didn't, and it took so long for them to like be able for us to connect who Rachel was. Like
Right.
he said in
I
the
know.
beginning,
Exactly.
and he said that was like the girl 6 years ago, but like it took so long to get to the point. It was just like their like hidden love for the whole
Exactly.
book.
Right.
But it was really good at the end.
I know.
Right,
thought
I know. I
Miles was
love
so
the ending.
weird.
I thought it was good that it ended out like that way because when we didn't find out Maya's perspective until the end, it was like all made sense. So it made you want to keep reading. Like in
Right.
Reminders of Him,
Yeah.
it has both their perspective, which I really love. But this one, you want to keep reading so you can
Yeah.
find out what's going on.
I feel like this is the first book we all have like
Really read,
Like
yeah.
I finished this in a day. It was
I know.
Wait,
crazy.
we should tell everyone what the book is
Okay.
about.
Okay.
Okay, so there is a lady. What's her name? I already
Tate.
forgot. Tate. And then she moves in with her brother Corbin. And then her neighbor is his best friend, Miles. So then Tate and Miles, the first time they met, Miles was super drunk, and then Tate ends up helping Miles out. Then they ended up having like this little
attraction.
Yeah.
For each other.
which they didn't want anyone to know about. Yeah, a lot of tension.
Yeah,
Which
a
makes
lot
you
of-
really love
a lot
the
of
book.
tension.
Yeah, gets into a lot of detail about it.
I feel like if you read the book, then you know what we're talking about.
But yeah, he keeps it hidden, and then, long story short, Corbin ends up finding out. They like have like all this trouble because he makes her promise that she won't expect a past and won't accept a future, and that she won't ask questions. Right? What was the other rule?
There was two rules of that.
Or, like,
there's-
don't fall in
there's
love or
nothing,
something?
Nothing will happen in the future, and you can't ask about my past.
Yeah,
those were his
right.
two
Don't
rules.
expect the future
Future
and don't
and
ask
ask
about
about
my
my
past.
past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tate really wanted to, and she thought if she kept going with this like secret relationship, that like he'll eventually fall in love with her. But Miles just wasn't ready. But you don't figure out why he isn't ready until the end of the book.
The ending,
Yeah.
the,
The ending-
reason why made
It was
me
crazy.
cry.
I was not expecting something so horrible.
I thought it was like no sad breakup,
when I
but
started-
someone died.
I know.
When I started
his baby
reading-
died.
I know,
right?
bro.
That was he died.
It's
crazy.
The second they leave, he dies.
Right?
He died. Okay,
I would
we gotta
have
tell them what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That burden, bro.
Honestly, if you were in that position, who would you save? Your wife or your kid? Your kid that just born 5
Honestly,
seconds
I
ago.
would save my
My-
husband.
right?
I would save my
Honestly,
husband.
but I would feel
I would
horrible
I would
because
feel horrible.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
situation would happen.
That's
Okay, so
situation.
basically he can't fall in love because he had a baby with like Rachel, the love of his life, who his mom was dating Rachel's mom. His
So
dad was dating
basically,
Rachel's
he
mom.
was her stepsister, but they
like, not
had-
officially.
exactly.
Yeah.
But they had a relationship before they found out they were like brother and sister.
Yeah.
It's like kind of weird.
And they hid it
Yeah.
until
They
she was
did.
pregnant and they
Exactly.
couldn't hide it anymore.
Exactly. And then
And
they moved in together.
Yeah, they moved out, had the baby, and then once they get released from the hospital, he's looking in like the mirror.
The mirror, yeah.
And just to look at her, and like he was like, "Wow, I love my family." And he says he looks back, and his whole life flashed before his eyes, and he's underwater,
Like, that
and
is
his baby
crazy.
drowned,
Right.
driving up a
Insane.
cliff.
Literally
is
insane.
so-
Like, how do you
When I
recover
found-
from that?
Right? I know that
You can't
makes
recover
all
from
the
that.
sense why he couldn't recover
And
because
I
it
can
was
under
so
yeah.
horrific.
And I can and he never wanted to love again. Like it wasn't even just because of Rachel, like his son, like he loved his son,
Right.
But also like I can see how Rachel like had to go away. Like
Honestly,
she left
Uh-huh.
she left a
it
note
is
for him,
reminder.
and
It's
then
literally keep like
left.
if I had to like
Yeah.
keep looking at someone who like I blamed for killing my baby, like that sounds so messed
So
up.
and like
messed
every
up,
time she looks
right?
at him, it's
Also-
just a reminder. Like she had to get away
Exactly.
from that.
Literally.
But it was like you guys invested so much into each other. They should have like fought through it together.
But
And
I'm
they
glad
tried.
they put Rachel's perspective in at
Yeah,
least like one chapter.
right?
about
I
it.
know, I was
That
like,
was
that was so
amazing.
I
cute.
know.
But I
actually
was so
like that.
happy when he goes to her house and finds out he's not in the same position as he's in.
I know,
So
I
when
was
she
like-
moved
I was-
on,
I
I was
thought-
like, okay, maybe that isn't so bad.
Yeah.
Because
No,
if
but
they
then
were
I-
in the same position,
but
that
I
would
feel
have been
bad
horrible.
because it's like I feel like I blame Rachel because she never went to him to be like, it's okay. She put him through his misery. Like that.
I felt betrayed
so
that she like was so easy to find happiness, and so we were struggling to live every day.
Exactly,
like, bro.
right?
She said 3 years later she found her boyfriend and then was fine. But I'm like, Miles took 6 years.
I know, and without even looking at a girl. 6 years without a kiss, bro.
Nothing.
When I read that, I was like, damn, this hurt him. He is really hurt him, bro.
Really hurt.
I was surprised he made the first move with her though,
with Tate. Yeah.
No, when I
that was
read
nice.
that first part, I was like, oh, I do something.
I wish they brought in the dad like figuring out. Like sooner on, like like you saw them kissing. I wish it got brought up again or something. I don't know.
Didn't you guys like that Claire? Didn't you like how Rachel named her baby Claire, even though like
that was sweet. And then
when I read that, I wanted to start crying.
Yeah, because that was the girl name that they were supposed to
name her. Exactly.
What did they name his baby?
What did you guys think?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They named it Sam after the doorman.
Oh,
Cap.
yeah,
No,
the Cap. Yeah,
Cap.
that was cute. I remember
Cap
that.
is the doorman that.
No, they didn't name the baby after Cap.
Yeah,
they did. Because Cap's first name is Samuel, and it was a girl, so they named it Sam.
I was thinking of whose baby?
They had a
Miles.
baby at the ending.
Yeah, did you read the epilogue?
Yeah.
No.
So read the epilogue right now.
Read it right now so your reaction.
I thought that's a part of the book you don't read.
No, you have to read that part. How did you not want to read that part?
So basically,
it's just like one page.
No, it's like 3 pages.
Okay, should I read it out loud?
Yeah, read it out loud.
I think back to the day I married her. It was one of the best days of my life. I remembered standing next to Ian and Corbin at the end of the aisle. We were waiting for her to walk through the doors when Corbin leaned over and whispered something to me. He said, "You're the only one who could have ever met my standards for her, Miles. I'm happy it's you." I was happy it was me too. That was more than 2 years ago, and every day since then, I've somehow fallen in love with her a little bit more. Or flew, rather. I didn't cry the day I married her, though. Her tears were falling the day that we were, but mine weren't. I was convinced that they never would, not in the way I wished they could. It was 8 months ago when we found out we were having a baby. We were trying to have a baby, but we were also not trying. If it happens, it happens, Tate said. It happened. When we found out, we were both excited. She cried. Her tears were falling, but mine weren't. As excited I was also scared. I was scared the fear that comes along with loving someone that much. Scared of everything bad that could happen. I was scared that my memories would take away from the day I became a father again. Well, it just happened, and I'm still terrified. It's a girl, the doctor says. A girl. We just had a baby girl. Tate became a mother. Feel something, Miles. Tate looks up at me. I know she could see the fear in my eyes. I also know how much pain she's in right now, but she still somehow manages to smile. Sam, she whispers, saying her name out loud for the first time. Tate insisted that we name her Sam in honor of Cap's real name, Samuel.
So cute.
Right?
I love that part.
Cap is
But when he said he didn't feel anything when the baby came out, I was like, oh no.
No,
but then he saw the baby.
I like he saw the baby and started crying.
I like how they slant the words.
Right.
Like that's his thoughts.
And then they wrote it differently. It goes like when it was like drowning.
It was like D-R, and then it was like slant going down. Like that's how you know it's down bad.
Yeah.
Like it's down bad.
Like
he was really going through
bold
it.
and black, and it was like yelling like Miles.
I know.
Oh, that was
I saw it on the other page, and I'm just scared. I had to cover
know.
my hand because I was like, I don't want to spoil it for myself.
One time I was reading the book and I just skimmed through it because I was so mad that it was taking so long. And I skimmed through it and then I got to the part. I read the part where the baby was dying and I was like, no way. I have to read this right now. I know. I was so mad at myself when I skimmed through it. I was like, I shouldn't have done that.
I literally read all of this within like one
day. Literally.
One day.
I know.
No, I was so invested in the book, and I literally haven't finished a book since like forever.
This is my first book in a long time.
I literally don't pay attention. I don't pay attention in class anymore because I be reading books. Like that's how you know like her books are so good.
Our next podcast is gonna be about the reminders of him. Yeah.
I need that book next.
Yeah. I'll give it to you.
No, yeah.
That was a good book.
It was.
It really was.
I feel like we should give background on who Cap is because the people who are listening don't really know who he is.
Cap is the lobby guy that Tate always came back to talk to. Yeah.
In Miles' apartment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Tate is like best friends with him. Old. Yeah, he's pretty old. Should we talk about the details of the book? But we don't have to go into detail about it.
We should talk about how Tate moved out and like it took Ian and like Miles to go to Rachel to make sure he was okay to go
see it. Oh, that was really cute. Mm-hmm. I loved when he went to go see Rachel because I was like, finally, like they're going to see each other. They were
get back together.
No, I knew they weren't. I feel like I know. I was thinking it, but I was like, there's no way this book is gonna end on them together. Yeah, I was like, they had to be.
They're
together.
like talking together. Like really was like one of the best.
Right,
parts.
I know.
Other than finding out how Rachel like in that stuff.
Yeah,
I
know.
I want to see a movie on this.
And then I know. And then Miles saw Rachel's baby, and that's where I was like, she had a baby.
No,
right?
So
and she was like,
I know, she's like, look at my crib. Like, oh my God. I was like, you can't do this to him, right?
So
I was like, bro, you can't do this. Like it was so unfair. Like I was like, I felt betrayed by her. So like, how are you fine? And he's literally so not okay at all.
I don't know.
You can also
so sad. I'm surprised he didn't like die.
Yeah.
In the end, I thought something was gonna happen.
What did you guys think was wrong with him when he had like a plain room and stuff? Like I didn't suspect that he went through something so traumatic. I thought like I don't even know what I remember thinking what Rachel did.
Like, I just remember I read it so fast that I don't remember thinking anything because I was like so invested of like, oh, what happened?
I just remember Miles talking about Rachel in the beginning, and I just thought there was just like a bad breakup.
Like
but I didn't
really
know
bad breakup.
Baby dying.
Right.
That's
I
insane.
know.
That was insane.
That was definitely unexpected.
Yeah.
And I didn't when I was like reading, and I was like, he was like my life flashed before my eyes. I was just trying to look at my love, my family in the mirror, and I was like,
whoa.
What is about to happen? I was like, no way.
I know. And then they said they were drowning. I was like, what are the odds?
And then the stress of the seatbelts not unlocking. Oh my God.
You see that stuff in the movies, and like I could just picture it in my head, and I was like, in there. I was like, oh my God.
Because when you're reading from Miles' perspective, it's like he's talking about Rachel the whole time, and you're like, okay, we like Rachel, like they're having a good time, they love each other. So you're like, what is gonna happen? Like, what ends up being wrong? I thought right when she gets pregnant, that's like where it ended. But then right when we lead it to it, I was like, this makes all perfect sense.
No,
I was like,
when
wow.
when I like got to the part where she was pregnant, I was like, I thought he like made a bad decision and his dad made him leave. That's what I thought. That like they were both still alive, but his dad made Miles leave the family so Rachel because he didn't like them being together, so he could be with Lisa. Because he showed that like his dad was like really selfish.
And then when he like found out that he was hating his dad for no reason, like remember when his dad like he told him that they were already separated, that the parents were already separated. He probably felt so dumb. But, like,
right?
He was.
Of course, you say that then and there.
He was acting defensive, like, and like rude towards his dad when his dad was mad at him. It's like you literally got his fiance's daughter pregnant. Now he can't marry her. Like that was so selfish of him that they continued to do that. But like it was still like I needed it to happen.
Yeah, but they also, I would never.
I feel like they didn't mention that they were together. Well. Never mind.
Well, they did. Well, how did
together?
Okay,
yeah,
wait.
I was gonna say that Rachel
know. That's the thing.
No, they didn't know until they saw each other.
No, but they had it hung out till then.
Yeah.
No, but Rachel knew Lisa was dating someone.
Yeah,
so
but
how
he
did
didn't know that was his son.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, I like throughout the whole book, like I could tell that like that wasn't the type of guy Miles was, who was just like, oh, I'm just using you for.
Because when it says in the end, his perspective, and he was like, I actually do love you, and all this stuff, I was like, yay,
you could tell, like, when you're reading it, like, that he wants to, but it's just, like...
he just couldn't say it.
Yeah,
I needed it to switch perspectives quicker, because, like, I was like, all right, Tate, I'm done hearing what you gotta say, I don't care anymore.
Really?
And
I was like that with Miles, because I didn't like how he would talk about Rachel. I thought it was more investing about, like, the tension between, like, Tate and Miles.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
like that. I was like...
Yeah, I loved it.
They make the sex, like... You could say,
I know, just say it. Yeah.
Okay. They make the sex like beautiful. Like it's not like dirty and
it's
like
not it's not.
And it's like graphic, but it's like they're like making love. Like it's literally like love is in the air.
Right? Like you could genuinely tell that they like each other through like the words she's using.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like so like I can like picture it, which is like weird. But like it's like not weird. Like she somehow makes it not weird, just being so out and open of like what is going on in that very moment.
Molly did it. She really did it. It was really
did.
I know. That was good. That was beautiful. When she was saying some crazy stuff, I was like, what? And then when I see someone reading the book, I was like, we both are thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, at first it was like uncomfortable because I was like, well, now like my mom wants to read this.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I don't want her to know that I read this. It's a little weird.
Right?
But, like, it just, like, wasn't weird anymore. Cause it's just, like, it's, like, mature. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I know.
maybe
it's
when I was younger, I'd be like, oh, my
I-
God. But, like, now it's, like, it's just, like, beautiful. Like, it's just,
Like, I want you guys to read this.
Like, I just want to, I don't know.
be in the book.
I know. I want to be Tate.
Right.
No, literally.
The only thing I can't do is put a
face on it, right?
Yeah.
And it frustrates me.
I can picture like what's going
Everything.
on, like the rooms, the plain apartments, but I can't picture
their faces. And
yeah.
when I try to put
see
someone,
Miles because they like were really descriptive about him, like his blue eyes.
and
brown
they
hair.
yeah,
but
and they
they're
did that with
built-
Rachel.
but
And I
they're
kind of thought of
descriptive.
you because she was redhead.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, oh, she's Rachel.
Wait, I didn't pick up on that, Shaylee.
Yeah, it says she's redhead.
Like I can picture like they're just like not as descriptive of
The
like
different-
the
yeah.
people as they are of like things that are happening. It's like she's like, and then he looks at me with like when they say like when he like bites his lower lip and then folds it in his teeth, like I can picture
Yeah,
what they're doing.
yes.
Like I know what exactly
Damn,
they're
she
doing with their mouth.
memorized those words from the book.
But like I was doing it and I was like, damn, that's what they're talking
Right,
about.
I know.
But then like they talk about the characters and I'm like, I really don't know.
They didn't say anything about Tate's description, right?
No.
Yeah, I don't know what she looks like
Which is
at
why I
all.
wanted to hear Miles' perspective because he would have been like, oh, like this
This
is what
beautiful
she looks like,
girl,
right?
yeah.
It was just like so weird to like having like see Tate talk about Miles and then like he's talking about another girl. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like
It was hard and like to adjust to like following two timelines. Like you had to like because like especially like
right, yeah. You have to like read that all so fast in order to like actually remember.
Should I read this line? A little sneak peek for the fellow podcasters,
teeth
for the
crashing,
Hoovers.
lip biting, hurried, rushed, panting, touching. She's moaning. I could feel her trying to pull from my mouth, but my hand has wrapped her hair and I'm covering her mouth desperately, hoping she'll never break for breath. She makes me release her.
That's it, everyone. All right, that's a wrap. Thank you guys for all listening to Call Her Hoover.
Call her
We'll see you
Hoover.
next